24th of February, 1954. Everything is in readiness. Political leaders, the justices, the service chiefs, the leading citizens, waiting for the royal plane at the overseas terminal, Melbourne Airport. Meanwhile, the Queen's colour is paraded to music from the Flinders Naval Depot Band. Here it is, the royal plane, flown by Captain Peter Gibbs, one of our leading pilots, arriving from Tasmania after a swift flight across Bass Strait. So the Queen sets foot upon Victorian soil for the first time. Her Majesty is greeted by His Excellency the Governor, General Sir Dallas Brooks, and then by the Premier, the Honourable John Kay. The Guard of Honour is provided by men of the Royal Australian Navy. Then state political leaders, service chiefs, the justices and leading citizens are presented to the royal visitors, who then meet the senior officials responsible for the conduct of the Victorian tour. Royal progress commences, and the car passes slowly through the northern suburbs on the 11-mile journey to Parliament House. At last, the waiting crowds can voice their pent-up enthusiasm. The royal car reaches Parliament House on this triumphal progress. The majestic Roman Doric style of architecture is a fitting background to this historic occasion. The mounted police escort stands firm as the royal salute is fired in the domain. With the President of the Legislative Council, the Honourable Sir Clifton Eager, the Queen returns to the royal car to continue the progress. The cars enter the incomparably beautiful Collins Street with its tall elms and plane trees. Through streets lined by a continuous guard of men from the services, the progress continues along Swanston Street to the cheering of hundreds of thousands of citizens. The Duke, no stranger to Melbourne, is obviously enjoying his return. Leaving the city, the progress passes over the Yarra River across Prince's Bridge. Along that beautiful and stately thoroughfare, St Kilda Road, Parliament House in its superb garden setting. So the royal visitors reach what will become their home during their stay with us in Victoria. They are greeted by Lady Brooks, who performs a most graceful curtsy before Her Majesty and His Royal Highness. Handicapped guides and brownies wave as the Queen inspects the guard. So our beloved Queen has come triumphantly to her home with us, her loyal subjects. Tonight, the city is gay with light and colour. The Royal Crown has provided the illumination engineers and designers with a wonderful motive for their ideas. Never in a history of Melbourne has the city presented such an exciting spectacle. While the illuminations glitter, let us turn to the organization which supplies the electricity that has enabled the city to take on such a gay appearance, the State Electricity Commission of Victoria. The illuminations on SEC buildings are beautifully designed, and once again the Royal Crown has provided a fitting motive. Victorians can be proud to show Queen Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh the main source of Victoria's electricity, the Yallourn brown coal power and fuel undertaking in the Latrobe Valley, which is unique in the British Commonwealth. The great SEC power station burns millions of tons of brown coal fuel from the nearby Yallourn open cut. For 30 years, the SEC has been winning brown coal from this open cut until the huge hole which has been excavated could now swallow the entire square mile of the city of Melbourne and leave no building showing above ground level. The brown coal is trucked from the open cut to the power station and the briquetting factory. dredger wins 500 tons of coal an hour from one of the steeply inclined coal faces. The coal lies beneath an overburden of clay and sand about 40 feet thick. The coal deposits beneath the overburden are 200 feet in thickness, and 100 million tons of coal have already been taken from the open cuts. The briquetting works. Here, moist brown coal is crushed and dried, and then pressed into small blocks of high-grade fuel ideal for industrial use. On the momentous occasion of the royal visit to Yallourn, all is ready to give the Queen and her consort a royal welcome. This is Yallourn's greatest day. The town has been decorated, and finishing touches are put to the official dais outside Yallourn railway station. A very special bouquet has been prepared for presentation to the Queen, and excitement is gradually mounting as the townspeople begin to assemble. The Yallourn town band arrives through an arch of gum leaves festooned with illustrations of Australian birds and animals. Cubs from Yallourn and surrounding districts and girl guides with a colourful display of flags move to their assembly points. A fine body of country youth has joined the Boy Scout and Girl Guide movement in this district, and they undoubtedly add colour to the scene. Children from the schools arrive, and gradually the route of the royal progress becomes lined with thousands of children and adults. Men of the militia and the SEC Construction Regiment, soldier technicians of the Royal Australian Engineers take their positions along the route. Men of the Royal Australian Air Force arrive to take up their positions. Scouts with their brilliantly coloured flags form a guard of honour as the royal train reaches Yallourn. On the railway platform, the Queen and the Duke are greeted by the Minister for Electrical Undertakings, the Honourable John Galbally, who presents SEC commissioners and executives. A smart police motorcycle escort stands at the ready, and cars for the Royal Progress are in position. At last, the great moment has come for the people of Yallourn. As the Queen appears and moves to the dais, she is greeted by the waiting crowd. After an address of welcome on behalf of the people of Yallourn, the Queen speaks.
Mr. Chairman and councillors of the Yallourn Advisory Council and residents of Yallourn, I thank you very sincerely for the wonderful welcome which you have given to me and to my husband. My uncle, the Duke of Gloucester, has told me of the visit which he made to your town, and his report of what he had seen here convinced us that we must visit Yallourn and its brown coal working while we were in Victoria. I am very glad to know that so many men and women from the British Isles have made their homes in your district, and that they are working side by side with you to develop the natural resources with which it has been so bountifully endowed. May every blessing attend your labours.
Now, Councillor Forrestal, Chairman of the Town Advisory Council, presents his fellow councillors to the royal visitors. All is in readiness for a triumphal royal progress as the Queen and the Duke enter the royal car. The progress commences down Broadway, a beautiful thoroughfare lined with lawns and trees. The Royal Progress enters Monash Square, named after General Sir John Monash, who was chairman of the State Electricity Commission from 1921 to 1931. General Monash, brilliant soldier and engineer, laid the foundations of this great Yallourn power and fuel undertaking, which now provides the royal visitors with one of the highlights of their tour of Australia. Leaving Monash Square, the Royal Progress passes through the RSL strong point. And as these toddlers demonstrate their loyalty so excitedly, the Progress leaves the town and sweeps into the road leading to the SEC works. In the distance is the great power station. Here also is some of the new construction which will make Yallourn the biggest steam power station in Australia. The Royal Progress arrives at the edge of the vast brown coal open cut. The Queen is greeted by Mr. Ralph Hunt, chairman of the SEC. The Duke is greeted by Brigadier John Field, the Commission's General Superintendent at Yallourn. The royal visitors arrive at the observation point, where a special pavilion has been erected for this great occasion. Mr. Hunt accompanies the Queen to the edge of the observation platform, and Her Majesty asks many questions about this unique undertaking. The Queen learns that this vast open cut uncovers only a small part of the brown coal resources of this region, which contains the largest deposits in the world. Mr. Hunt explains that this coal, soft, moist and earthy in texture, is Australia's cheapest source of power because coal-winning machines can so easily excavate great quantities daily for the power station and the briquette works. The Queen and the Duke enter the pavilion and sign the visitors' book. Many famous visitors to Yallourn have signed their names in this book, but the most illustrious names of all are these: Elizabeth II and Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. The Queen leaves the observation platform with Mr. Hunt. The Yallourn brown coal open cut has provided the royal visitors with a memorable experience. Mr. Hunt introduces long service men of the project, 6 men who have served with the SEC for an average of 32 years each. As the Queen returns to the royal car, a group of workers have a wonderful opportunity to see Her Majesty at close quarters. This royal visit to Yallourn has enabled the Queen to see one of Australia's outstanding achievements and is bound to attract widespread interest in the further development of Victoria's brown coal industry that is now being carried out. As they prepare to leave, the Queen and the Duke express their thanks to the State Electricity Commission. These toddlers are certainly enthusiastic about their Queen. As the royal progress returns to Yallourn railway station, once again the thousands lining the route express their patriotism and their loyalty to the Queen. So ends the royal visit to Yallourn, an experience which will live long in the memories of all who have been here today.